Soapbox? What a stupid name. Who'd call something that? Only a fucking moron.
Hey guys, what's up? 2-Bit Jesus here, giving you yet another 2-Bit podcast video. And today I wanted to give a little E3 predictions. Just my thoughts. These aren't going to be any like fancy technical predictions. These are just kind of my thoughts of what I think's going on. I would like to start off with Nintendo. I think Nintendo is the most interesting one going into E3, in that they've come out and I think said that they're pretty much just going to have Zelda Wii U there. They're not going to have much else there, which has two things. Either one, Nintendo is totally saving up for next year when the NX comes out. And so they're not going to really start dropping huge bombs until it gets closer to like the release date of the NX and all that. So they're saving everything up for that. And that's why we're only getting like, very little, if anything at E3 this year, which would worry me, which means, if that's the case, that means Nintendo is not really doing too well, so to speak, I think. Because I think even if your system's not selling well, I do think you still need to get it out, be out there. Even though the next system is on the horizon with the NX, you still need to be interested in your console. You need to be like, yes, the NX is on the horizon, but, that's not out till next year. This year, it's still all about the Wii U. We got Zelda Wii U coming out. We got a new Paper Mario, and then list the other games you got coming out this year. Even though, I know it's a little sparse, but still you need to be passionate about that and be like, yeah, it's still a great year to get a Wii U and get as much sales as you can out of that console still. And then when you clock over to 2017, then you go all out on the NX and reveal all the big stuff. But it just kind of seems almost like they're giving up. And then again, maybe I'm wrong. Here's the second thing I see they're doing. I think they're being tight-lipped, and then they're just going to blow us away at E3. And like I said earlier, they're going to show us a bunch of stuff that they're doing, and maybe even hint some NX stuff, maybe, possibly. But yeah, that's where I see it. Nintendo's is, to me, the most interesting, just because there's really nothing at all. No, all we know is like Zelda Wii U is going to be there, and that's about it. So I find that interesting. And then moving on down to my next one, Sony. And now Sony, I think, is going to be heavily advertising that VR. I think it's going to be like the Kinect was. Remember the Kinect? I remember when they first came out with that, a few E3s ago. I remember it was just, that's all they talked about. Better with Kinect. Let me show you what you can do with the Kinect. Hey, the Kinect can open up your cans? It's like a can opener. It's a garbage disposal. It just, that's how they sold it. It was just like Kinect. And I think Sony is going to do the same thing. But my suggestion to Sony would be to also like kind of balance that out. Because if you shove that thing down everyone's throat at a conference, it's not going to be good. You're not going to have a good conference. So that's why I do think, a lot of people think they're going to reveal the PS4 Neo. I have my doubts that they're going to do that, because I remember I read an article that said that they were saving that for the Tokyo Game Show. I mean, I could be wrong. They'll probably reveal some details about it, because they are going to be heavily going with the VR. But as far as the games go, it is kind of scary because Uncharted 4 just came out. So that's great, that's great. But I've already heard rumors that you got No Man's Sky getting delayed. Shenmue 3, which was one of the big ones last year, that one, of course, isn't going to be out till probably 2017, 2018. I haven't heard much about the Final Fantasy remake. Let's see here. I think Horizon, was it Horizon Dawn? I can't remember it was with the robot dinosaurs. That one's I think that one's still coming out this year, but it's going to be the end of the year, possibly. And then, of course, I am not holding my breath for Last Guardian. Seriously. I remember a lot of people freaked out about that, but it's just like, yeah, I've been waiting for that for a decade or so now. I'm not holding my breath on it. That thing until there's an official release date announced, I don't believe the game exists. Period. Even then, even if they give us an official release date, it's coming out on this day of this month of this year, I'm probably still not going to believe it until like the week of. And so I think Sony, again, has that problem. They overcame it last year by heavily dipping into the nostalgia factor. A lot of people thought that Sony, was the big show for E3 last year, and that's only because they just went to the well with nostalgia. And I don't think you can go to the well a second time with that. You got to show what you got coming now. Just don't show, it's cool to show all these games that are coming out, but if you want to get me interested in jazz, show me what you got coming out. Show me more of the Horizon game, and show me some of the other games that are coming out this year that I can buy this year, and then balance that out. Balance that with, of course, I know you're going to try to sell your VR, which, I'm not going to be interested in. I've also heard rumors that there'll be a God of War 4 trailer. I'm pretty sure that will be huge. People will love that. So all in all, I think Sony's going to have a pretty decent E3 show. The only way I can see it going bad is if they lean too hard on VR, and if they double dip in that well of nostalgia factor, because you did that last year, and if you do it again this year with no games to show, I think you're going to look really bad. Now, moving on to Xbox. With Xbox, they're in an interesting spot. There's, of course, been all the rumors about their new hardware coming out. I don't think it would be a good idea to reveal anything on the hardware side, because it just, like I said, again, it seems like the Xbox Scorpio or whatever it is isn't coming out this year. You don't need to talk about it. If it's not coming out this year, don't talk about it. Whole point of E3, I always felt, was to get people jazzed for what's coming this fall and holiday season. So you don't need to talk about the Scorpio. Focus on those games. They got a bunch of great games coming out. Tell me about Cuphead. What the hell's happened to Cuphead? You show me it at the last E3, and then that's about all I see of it. I think it was at Gamescom too, and then we haven't seen or heard from it since. What's going on with Cuphead? Of course, you got Sea of Thieves. That looks like it's going to be a cool game. So again, focus on those games. They say they have an even bigger surprise than backwards compatibility. Does that mean original Xbox backwards compatibility? Or some people have even said that they're going to now have Xbox or online free, and the paywall will, I guess the paywall will be lifted on playing with people online. But if you want to be in parties and all that stuff, you'll have to have gold. We'll see with that. I don't know what's going to happen. I actually don't want to read any speculation on that. I just want to be surprised. What could be bigger than 360 backwards compatibility? Maybe original Xbox backwards compatibility. That would be nice. But yeah, if I was them, I would just focus on those games. Unless their Xbox Scorpio is coming out this fall, there's no need to reveal it. With Xbox, they just need to be consistent and keep this what they've done these last few E3s, where they've just focused on games, and keep it consistent, because they are the underdog this generation, so to speak. I find it funny saying that, because really, guys, Sony, even that Sony is on top right now, and they're like the leader in the industry, they're still the underdog. Sony's not even on Microsoft's level, as far as when it comes, they don't view Sony as a competitor and all that. So Sony is, in my opinion, the underdog. And next generation, from what I've heard from these rumors about the Xbox Scorpio, when it comes to hardware and power, they're going to blow Sony out of the water. And you can argue, hardware doesn't matter, it's about the games, which I agree, it is about the games, but you cannot disagree. This whole generation seems to have been about power. People have been focused on power, and specifically resolution and all that. So if Microsoft comes down and they play that game, and they bring out a huge, beast of a console, then, what then? All those people that did buy into, it's about power, they're going to all flock to the next, to the new Xbox. From what I've heard, the next Xbox will be modular. So again, you future-proof your console, because not that you have to open up, take the parts out yourself. I imagine they would have it super simple, where it slides out and snaps in and stuff like that. So I imagine you'll still have to buy Microsoft brand or Microsoft approved GPUs and crap like that to go with the system. but it will future-proof that next system because you just keep upgrading it. Never have to buy another box again unless, your kid spills, Coke or something on your Xbox, then you'll have to get a new one. But yeah, I trailed off there with that. But yeah, I think they just need to focus again on the games. I think they're going to have a great show, and it just depends. Also, Microsoft, stop going on before Sony. Seriously, what is wrong with you? You put on your show, Sony sees the show, and they're able to change their show to better, make themselves look, to outdo you. It's essentially you're going on, you're performing, you're putting out everything you got, and you can put on the greatest performance, but your competitor watches your performance and sees your flaws, and so when they do their show, they point out your flaws and they try to beat and outperform where you are good at as far as, whatever the news you came out with. What I'm getting at here is, stop going on before Sony, because Sony just watches your show and they're able to get their talking points written out. So when they have their conference, they actually have, they can say something back to what your conference was, and you can't say anything back because you already had your show. So Microsoft, stop doing that. Also, why is it always early in the morning? It's always like freaking, they always put their shows on in the morning. Do it in the evening. More people are going to see it, I think. Anyway, that's just my critiques of that. I think when it comes to Sony and Xbox, I think they're both going to have great shows. Nintendo is an if, because, if it's true, if they're just showing Zelda Wii U, it's not going to be really a great time in D3 with Nintendo. But then again, they could blow us out of the water with huge news. We'll see. Let me know in the comment section below, what are your E3 predictions or thoughts? And yeah, with that said, guys, please hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed that video. Hit the subscription button if you want to keep up with everything we're doing. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay safe and play on.